Good morning, I'm Jenny.
Good morning. I'm Tommy.
Welcome to Wake Up with Jenny and Friends. Hey, Tommy.
How are you, Jenny? I'm doing well.
I'm good. I'm glad to see you looking very fresh and spry this morning.
Well, yeah, I'm ready to go.
You ready
I'm
to
ready to go.
go? Let's do it.
I'm a morning person. I've
You
always been a
are.
morning person.
You are. You do you even work out in the morning, don't you?
I used to, but because of the pandemic, I had to kind of change my routine up a little bit. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I was always a morning person. I would get up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, get my workout done before like everybody else wakes up.
That's the time I go to bed, bro.
In the morning?
Yeah. I sleep like
Okay.
two I
That's
sleep
another
like
show. That's
I
another
know.
show why you're up till 4 o'clock in the morning.
It's all stress related. I sleep like 2, 3 hours a night. I don't know how I'm alive. I'm actually not an entire human being. there's there's a part of me that's not human.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, again, that's another show in itself. We'll explore that another time.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was awesome.
Good.
Got some sun. As you can see, I got some color on my face. I think I got a little too much color at the beach for about 8 hours. So it was good though. It was just like, ready to go. Summer's ready to go, and we're good to go.
Yeah, I know the weather's been really, really epic here lately. It's been like it was sweltering hot yesterday. I was out with the dogs for a bit, and I legit like stepped outside, and within 2 seconds, I was already sweating. So it's been amazing weather.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the weather's been crazy here too, where I'm at, and but I'm glad we're finally getting some good weather because we've just been having crappy rainy weather, the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and we need it. We need it. God,
Yeah, absolutely.
we need some
Absolutely.
sunshine. God,
Yep.
what
We
do
need
you
some D. We need some D. Well,
Oh,
I don't really need
oh,
D.
oh.
I mean, this is an early morning thing, so I don't know who needs D, but I sure don't need it, but I need a different kind of D.
You heard it here her first, folks. Tommy needs D in the morning.
Again, that's another show.
No judgment, no judgment. We just have fun here.
Exactly. No judging.
Oh gosh, love me some vitamin D. That's for sure. What are you drinking this morning?
I'm just drinking water. Just
Water,
drinking
yeah.
water. So you stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Stay hydrated. You got to stay hydrated. I try to drink a gallon of water a day.
Wow, good for
So
you.
I actually throughout the day, I actually have a big jug that I ordered. It looks
Uh,
like it looks like a Clorox bleach bottle. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
people think I'm drinking like Clorox and whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm drinking
Well,
Clorox, people.
20 years on the job. I mean, can you
Yeah,
blame you?
yeah. So, but then I carry that on, so it kind of forces me to drink water as
Yeah,
opposed to like people like have like the little cups or mugs or whatever
yeah.
water bottles, and then what happens? They finish it. They're too lazy to refill it. So if you have
Mm,
a jug, like it's there, so you don't have to worry about refilling it. So you just at work, in the car, drink, take a sip.
yeah,
It just prevents excuses, and that's what me being a fitness thing. Like I try to help people prevent excuses and
exactly.
kind of wash all their excuses on why they're not doing certain things.
Because that's what we don't do. We don't have excuses.
Everybody has an excuse for something. Always, always.
What's going on in your neck of the woods? What's happening in your city? Tell everybody where you're from.
Well, I'm actually originally from. See, that's the thing. When people say where are you from, I always tell them exactly where I'm from,
Okay, where are
as
you
opposed to
living
where I'm at
currently?
now. So I'm currently in Jersey, but I am actually from New York.
New York. New
Yes.
York. We had a couple of shows we've talked about New York and the food scene in New York.
Oh, it's you know what you can't even compare to. I'm sorry. Whoever's listening, I don't care what state you're in. Maybe countries, yeah, it's different. If I like, there are certain countries that I would love to go and just, I know their food is going to outdo New York food. But I mean, the big argument, especially New York for pizza versus like Chicago pizza, that's always a big argument.
That was
You
it.
know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chicago, guess what? You guys don't have real pizza. Nah,
It's
you
all
heard it
about
here.
the New York deep dish, right?
We don't. This deep dish. That's not pizza. Like that's. I don't. That's a. I don't know
It's like
what
a
that is.
pie.
It's a pie. It's not a pizza. It's pizza. It comes in slices and it's thin. You eat it with the hand. Who eats pizza with a
Ooh.
fork and a knife? That's. So Chicago, you're wrong.
You don't eat your pizza with a fork and a knife?
Jenny, is that what they do in Canada?
No, I'm just joking. Did you ever
Uh,
see that Seinfeld episode where he eats the chocolate bar with the fork and the knife?
yes, Seinfeld. Oh, I miss Seinfeld.
Do you miss it? I never really got into that show. I
You know
mean, there
what?
was classic moments, but I never got into it.
Oh my God, I watch every episode like over and over, like on reruns. But you know what? I just started watching over again.
Uh-huh.
Cheers, Cheers.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, the I just forgot how funny that show was. I
Wow.
forgot how funny that show was. I'm actually on episode 3 of season 1. I didn't realize that show was on for 11 seasons. 11 seasons.
11 seasons.
Mhm.
Wasn't Ted Danson the best? And Woody Harrelson. That's where he
Woody
started.
Harrelson, yeah, Woody Harrelson. A lot of people started there. Like Ted
Yeah.
Danson, he started. Woody Harrelson, that was his big break.
Yep.
Rhea Perlman,
Rhea
she was the
Perlman.
waitress.
Yep.
Shelley Long, remember Shelley Long? She had the
I really
was
enjoy
beautiful. I
Shelley
was in
Long.
love with Shelley Long. She had that long blonde hair, legs, long
Oh,
legs.
oh,
Every guy had
Eagle
a crush on
Crush.
Shelley Long. Come on,
Really?
even Sam Malone. He had a crush on.
Well, Sam Malone had a crush on everyone.
That's true. He was just a a man whore. I mean, you got to
What
give it
is
to him though.
going on in your neck of the woods, sir?
What is going on? So,
Any hot topics? Any stuff around the
no.
city?
So actually, as far as hot topics, I mean, it's always been a hot topic for the last years, the COVID situation. But starting Friday, the big news is starting Friday. Um, they're lifting a lot of the restrictions.
Yep.
So for like the indoor restrictions,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm very excited. Like if you're supposed to be vaccinated in New Jersey, if you're vaccinated, which nobody's going to ask for a vaccination card. I know I spoke to a few people at restaurants as I've been going through. Nobody's going to bother. They're going to do the honor system. If you're still, you know, are nervous about it, you could wear a mask in
Yep.
the location. So, but if you feel comfortable, you could go to the restaurant. Um, I actually was at a department store, Target, the other day, and
Mm-hmm.
I asked the employee, I said, hey, Friday, the governor's lifting the restriction. Are
Mm-hmm.
you guys gonna, whatever? Because supposedly private businesses they could do whatever they want technically,
Sure.
because, even though it's a statewide lift. But I think most businesses are not going to turn people away because it's all about the money. They lost a lot of money
That's
last
it.
year,
That's it.
So
And
that's
and
the yeah.
the thing with those travel vaccines, those passports, sorry, the travel passports, is just I'm hesitant to see, like you said, if anyone's going to really ask for them because the
Yeah,
travel industry has lost tons and tons
absolutely.
and buckets of money. Are they really going to tell someone that they're not going to let them fly with their airline, especially the smaller airlines, if they don't
Yeah,
have a vaccine passport? Like, I think it's just ludicrous to make people show proof that they've had a vaccine or not. Like, it's
yeah,
just, I mean, and why this vaccine? Like, why
right,
not any other vaccine ever in history?
right.
Or
Like the flu.
why not have a card proving
Yeah,
you're LGBTQ, or that you have HIV, or you had diabetes, or like, why is
right.
it this particular vaccine? Like, it's just
I mean, it's
insane.
and the thing is, it's this virus. It has been around. It's just a different strand. That's what people don't understand, and that's what people are not
Yep.
seeing in the media because this virus and the reason, like the number 19 is because it came out in the year 2019.
Yep.
That's where the number came from. But this has been around. It was the original SARS virus.
Yep.
But people don't do the research. They just kind of follow the crowd or like the sheep and
That's
whatever. So, but
they're
you know what?
sheeps.
They're sheep. So, you know, it is what it is for me. But me personally, I have my own opinions, and obviously,
Mhm.
people have their own opinions. But you know what? Just kind of respect everybody's opinion, and
That's
just
it.
move along and just move
Yeah.
along. You know,
Exactly. That's it. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
Well,
that's probably the biggest thing that's going on around in my neck of the woods.
Well, we have a fabulous show lined up for today. I'm very, very excited. We are going to talk about our top places in the world to live. We're going to talk about ultimate desserts. Can't wait. This one will be interesting. The worst date we've ever been on. Uh, we have our famous 3-question draw. And rumor has it, sir, you have a tip of the day.
I do.
I'm excited to hear that at the end of the show. So let's get right into it. Let's get started. What are the top 5 places that you would love to live in the world?
It's actually so tough, but if I had to pick the five,
Yeah.
definitely it's actually on my bucket list, which is number one place. It's not the number one bucket list, but it's the number one place to visit is Hawaii.
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 Mm.
It's, I mean, so many people have been to Hawaii. They talk about it all the time. I get so jealous how beautiful all especially the small islands.
It is nice.
It's not. You've been to Hawaii?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all right. This is not fair. This is why this is number. Like, I feel like I'm the only one in this world that's never been to Hawaii.
And it's in the US, Tommy.
I know. I know. It's like it's crazy.
It's a 5 hour
It's
plane ride, is it not for you?
No, not for me because actually it's a little bit longer. They told me that if I ever go to Hawaii, don't do a direct flight because the flight is a little bit longer. They told me to fly to California
It
because
is
it's from
long. Yeah.
coast to coast, and then do a layover in California and then fly into Hawaii. And it's a quicker flight. But you know what? I don't really mind the long flight because I've been to Korea and that's like a 12-hour
Mm.
flight. And I flew to Korea with two babies at the time, a 2 year old and a 9 month old. So if I could handle that 12-hour flight, I could handle maybe a 6 hour flight to Hawaii.
The longest flight I've ever been on was when I went to Africa. That was a 24-hour flight. Yeah.
24 hour
Yeah, it was yeah, it
with,
was
with no layover.
all yeah, there was a layover. Yeah, a
Okay,
layover. But all in it took me like 20, probably around 26, 27 hours to get there. It
yeah. I
was
mean, this
yeah.
was direct flight, 12 hours direct straight.
Ooh,
I mean, we
it's
had three meals.
brutal.
Like that's why like we were told to take the late like midnight flight.
Yep.
So you kind
You
of
sleep
sleep
through
and
it.
then you wake up, you have breakfast, lunch, and then you have a meal before you land.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay,
Yeah.
so Hawaii, what's next on
And
your
then
list?
the next one is this is actually fairly recent. Is Iceland.
Oh,
Nobody
yeah,
ever has thought of
Reykjavik?
Iceland. Yeah, so a few of my coworkers been to Iceland recently, and they have this big spa. I don't know if you've seen it or
Yes, the
like you
Blue
travel.
Lagoon.
The Blue Lagoon. Oh
Yes,
my God, it is. They
gorgeous.
said like outside is freezing, but once you go in, you don't even feel like you're outside.
Yep,
And it's supposed to be really good for your skin, and it's all fresh, it's spring water, like from the mountains,
yep.
spring water. So there's no chemicals in it. It's just very refreshing. So when I saw the pictures of that, I was like, that's where I want to go. And I was like, that's on my list. Like Iceland was never on my list whatsoever. So yeah, once I saw that,
Very
I'm down.
beautiful. The only thing you wanna keep in mind, though, is food is very expensive there, so just plan for that.
Wait, you've been to Iceland too?
I no. For people who are not watching, Tommy's direct stare into my face right now. I have not yet been to Iceland.
Yeah. Because I swear,
However
if I picked all my locations, places I want to go, never been to, and you've been to every single one of them, Jenny, there's going to be another show where we're going to have a little discussion about that. I'm just saying.
well, I'd love to travel. I've traveled to many places in my life. You should join me when I travel next time.
I see. That's on my bucket list. Is to travel. Is to travel.
Yes,
Like
yes,
my
yes.
ultimate thing to do is just get like an RV and just travel the country.
Oh, yes.
Like sell the house or have no house, whatever. Just
Yep,
get an RV because the RV these days are like a real good one. The travel one is
they're
the price of
nice,
a
right?
house. So yeah, so it's like buying a house and you just
Yep.
travel, travel
Yeah,
the country.
that was the plan for me a little while ago.
All
Um,
right,
okay, so Iceland next, number 3 on your list.
Costa Rica. And it's
Very
so
nice.
funny. Like I've been talking to a lot of people about like just in
Yep.
general, talking to people about places that we want to visit through other social media apps. A lot of people pick Costa Rica, and I was like, you know
Mm.
what? It's actually that's brought in the back of my mind. And of course, I've always known Costa Rica for the rainforest,
Mhm.
but I heard they have beautiful beaches. Like the water is unbelievable.
Yep.
Um,
All the fresh fruit and
all
food.
the fresh fruit, and of course, everybody does the zip lining.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, that was so fun.
Costa Rica. Costa Rica is known for zip lining.
Mhm.
People go there at the rainforest, and but just seeing the pictures of my friends that have visited, Costa Rica, and they show me
Mhm.
pictures, and I see them posting stuff. I'm like, oh my God, it's like the greenery, the rainforest, the waterfalls, the little lagoons.
Yep.
It's like I could just live there, like away from the
Beautiful.
craziness, the serenity that they talk about, how quiet and just the birds chirping, nothing. You're just in
Yep.
literally like the cliche, you're in with nature, like you're in with
Yeah.
nature.
Well, can you imagine just sitting on your back porch or your lanai and there's like, a parrot that comes and flies onto your like your balcony? Like
Yeah,
like
that or boa constrictor just hanging down from
yeah. Yeah.
one or the other. I mean, it's
All
a
the grips of
rainforest.
death.
All grips of death, whatever. A parrot grips of death. It's still beautiful though. It's all nature.
Number 4 for you?
Number four is Australia.
Oh.
Actually, it's a tie between Australia and New Zealand. I kind of feel like it's
Oh,
almost the same, but they're like in the same region.
yeah.
So, and speaking to people, recently with the social media apps that I've met people from Australia and New Zealand, their accent. Oh my God, I'm in love with their accent. Number one. But yeah, just like the like I've seen pictures and videos from like Olympic days at Sydney,
Mhm,
Australia.
mhm,
How beautiful Sydney is. But
mhm.
then I heard it's like Australia has obviously different parts of Australia, and the countryside. I've seen pictures of the countryside of Australia, and it's how
Yeah.
beautiful it is. It's just like open land, which I enjoy also. I'm going from Costa Rica, which is like all greenery and
Yeah.
enclosed, to like open land of New Zealand. And of course, from what I understand, the food is amazing. And then of course, you got the kangaroos, you got the alligators, all the
Yeah.
wildlife of Australia. That's where I see that. Like, that's like
Nice.
beautiful. Yeah.
And your fifth and final, sir?
Fifth and final is Italy. Um,
Italy.
Italy, yeah. I
Yes.
mean, I would love to do like a European vacation.
Mhm,
Once I'm completely retired.
mhm.
Um, European vacation, but Italy. Main reason of Italy is actually growing up. Here's a fun fact. My background is Korean, so I was
Mhm,
actually born in Korea, and I came to the U.S. when I was 6 years old.
mhm.
And when I was in Korea, my dad, he was actually surprisingly, he was like a news broadcaster, like the 6 o'clock evening
Oh,
news.
wow, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
So, but then I found out, as I was growing up, my dad, before he became a newscaster, he actually studied Italian in college because he wanted to be the Korean ambassador of Italy.
Oh,
So he
wow.
actually, like, when I was younger, he was actually fluent in Italian. Like, I was like, we used to go to Italian restaurants in New York. Of course, there's the fake Italian restaurants and the real Italian
Yeah.
restaurants.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he thought it was Italian restaurants all the same thing. He would start speaking to the waiters in Italian.
Wow.
And, but of course, we go to the fake Italian restaurants and they're like, oh, sir, I don't speak Italian.
The Olive Garden, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, but like the true blue Italian restaurants,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
authentic
yeah.
like in New York City, if you've ever been there,
The
but
really good
they
authentic ones that have names like Geppetto's.
right, it's got the true the vowels at the end of each
Yeah.
restaurant.
Wow, that's so cool. That's fascinating. I
Yeah.
love
So
language.
Italy. So I used to hear a lot about Italy,
Mhm.
and I actually was thinking about taking Italian, but for some reason I chose French when I was in school because the French girls.
Wah, wah.
Oui, oui, je m'appelle.
Les problèmes.
Well, so, but yeah, Italy. But yeah, in general, like European vacation. But if I had to just pick one European country, it would definitely be Italy.
You know who else was fluent in Italian was Kobe Bryant.
Was he?
Mhm.
I did
Yep.
not know that.
He grew up there. He lived in Italy for, I think, 7 years? Or
Was he when he was playing basketball at the
no, when
time?
he was a kid. He lived there when he was a kid, and I might be wrong on the number of years, but, he lived there when he was a kid, and he was fluent in Italian. And a couple of times he gave some sports, speeches in Italian. So,
Really?
yeah, it was
That's a
so
fun fact.
fascinating to hear him speak Italian. It was just it was flawless. It was so beautiful. Yeah.
That's a fun fact.
Well, I have 5 on my list. You've mentioned some of them, but, well, one of them. Italy was one of them, so I'll start with that one. But my top place I'd love to live in the world, um, Florida. I know. I've oh what's that?
I'm thinking something like
What does that look
exotic or something.
what does that look for, Tommy?
I was expecting someone like France or Greece or
I
Florida.
know I look sophisticated, but Florida it is. I've always
Have
loved
you?
Florida. Florida's my thing.
So you've been to Florida though.
Oh, I've been to Florida many times. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Next would be Switzerland.
See what Switzerland, yes, the Alps and all that. That would have been on my list, but you only gave me five choices, so
Totally my fault. That's my
yeah,
fault.
that's
I take responsibility.
I'm a snowboarder, a skier, so that's like as a snowboarder and a skier, Swiss is the place
Yep,
to go
absolutely.
to
Mhm.
live out your fantasy of snowboarding and skiing.
Yeah, I have not seen a bad picture of Switzerland, let me tell you.
Oh my God, never,
Mm.
not one, not one.
It could be the shittiest day in Switzerland, and it's freaking gorgeous.
It could be like in the mountains, it could be all cloudy and
Hmm.
gray,
Hmm.
but somehow the mountains look beautiful,
It's
beautiful.
just, oh, it's epic. It's
And,
just
and, and the
epic.
valleys too, the valleys in
Oh
Switzerland.
yeah, and you know what I can't get over is the grass. I have never seen
The
greener grass
greener
in my
grass,
life.
it never goes like dry. It's like, what kind of water do they have to like water the grass?
What are they feeding the cows? That's what I want to know.
What, the cows poop out grass?
The cows poop on the grass. Where do your cows poop? Our cows poop on the grass.
No, I thought you said, oh, I just, all right. I just confused myself.
Number 3 on my list, Nova Scotia.
Is that in Canada?
It is in Canada. Yep, it is in Canada. It's a
Ah,
province in Canada.
okay.
It's really beautiful there. It's got gorgeous beaches. It's got,
I was just saying, is that along the coast?
yeah,
Like
it's along the coast.
East coast
East
of
Coast.
Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, East Coast. It's so beautiful. It's, oh, for the love of ducks. Minus the dogs here. Um, there's a discussion about who's going to sit where, is what's happening. It's along the coast. It's beautiful. The beaches are gorgeous. The trails and the forestry out there is just
Hmm.
beautiful. It's just constant fresh air. Like nobody's really going to bother you there. It's very serene, peaceful. I love it. Lots
So
of
if I was to go visit Canada,
Mm.
that's where you would have me recommend going. No other place, not to come visit you or anything like that, but
Oh no, you'd
to go visit. No.
definitely have to come visit me. That's a
So
must. That's a one
oh,
hundo.
so Nova Scotia over visiting you though.
Oh no, 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 no. You visit me over Nova Scotia. You can't come to Canada and not see me, Tommy. That's just
That
redonkulous.
is true, but you made it
Fonte.
sound like Nova Scotia is the only place in Canada to be.
Okay, well, let me tell you this. I will move to Nova Scotia and then you come visit me and we'll kill two birds with
Two
one
birds
stone.
in one stone. I was just gonna
Ah.
always thinking, Jenny, always thinking.
Italy, I mentioned already, but my
Mhm.
final country that I would love to live in is Thailand.
Really?
Yeah, you're looking at me like I don't know
You know what
something.
happens in Thailand, right?
I'm missing something. No, well, not in those seedy back alley parts. I'm talking about like
Oh,
the elephant sanctuaries. Why does everybody look at me like that when I say Thailand?
I'm just saying, nobody. I've never really heard of anybody like wanting to visit or live or travel to a place like Thailand because I hate. Yeah, it's for some reason Thailand is associated with all the negative connotations, all that because of what goes on over there. But I honestly didn't know any other part of Thailand other than that. I mean,
Well,
is there like
there's got to be beautiful places. I mean, it's tropical-ish. It's, like elephant sanctuaries and all kinds of like beautiful.
well, I heard about that. I've never really seen like I guess shows of Thailand or anything like that. Although no, see, I'm mistaken. So like the travel channel, like Andrew Zimmern. I don't know if you've seen Andrew Zimmern or remember Anthony Bourdain.
Oh,
They're
yes,
like the
yes, yes.
chefs. They do those little traveling shows.
Mhm.
They did go to Thailand. I remember they did go to like the local places. Of course, they were more about the food, which
Mhm.
I go. I'm a big fan, a proponent of authentic cultural food. Like
Yes.
wherever country I want to
I'm a
visit,
foodie.
like
Mhm.
that's like I remember when I went to visit my family in Korea a couple of years ago. Obviously I didn't want to go to no freaking fancy restaurants, and because they always Americanize everything.
Yeah.
Um, so I was like, let's go to the local dives, and like where you would go for breakfast, where you
Yeah.
go for lunch, and that the authenticity of the food. And then even when I went to Puerto Rico years ago, I would my ex-wife, her family's over there, and we told her cousins like, listen, take us to where you would eat. I don't want to go to no Americanized restaurant.
Exactly.
And the taste is completely different.
Totally
Like
different.
even Italy, like our place to go to Italy, my friends that are Italian that have been to
Mhm.
Italy, they're
Yep.
like, it's the pizza, the pasta, everything out there is completely different. It's not the way we eat it. It's they laugh at the way this we
Yeah.
eat our pasta and our pizza and the way we make it. They're like, you guys overdo it. Like you guys overdo the pizza.
Mhm.
Their pizzas are small and thin. The
Yep.
pasta is like freshly made, none of these
Mhm.
box stuff.
Yep.
Yep, I'm a big fan of that.
Crazy, eh? Well, speaking of food, we're gonna get into the next segment, which is our 3 ultimate desserts. What, pray tell, are your 3 ultimate desserts?
So here's another fun fact. I'm not a big like dessert person.
Okay.
I was never a big dessert person. I was more of a, like a snack person, right? Like
Mhm.
just cheesy snack. But if I had to pick three desserts, okay,
Yeah.
one of the top ones, one of my favorite top desserts, is, of course, it always goes back to Italian desserts, right?
Mhm.
Tiramisu.
Yes.
Have you ever had tiramisu?
It's on my list.
Yes. Yeah, like, well,
So
finally, I found something that you haven't done.
no, I have.
Oh, you've
It's
had
on my list of
tiramisu.
favorites. Yeah.
Oh, it's on your list of favorites. Okay,
Yeah.
so tiramisu. Okay, tiramisu. Like I could probably eat that like, all the time.
We
Right?
hear you eat a lot of things, Tommy.
With that, you mean like papaya? I like to eat pineapples and papaya.
Good morning.
Good morning. Wake up. Wake up, America. Wake up, you North America. Wake up, whoever is out there watching. Wake up. I don't care if it's nighttime. Wake up.
Tiramisu.
Yes.
Yes.
Tiramisu.
Mhm.
Um, Another one, of course, is it's I don't know. It's like a chocolate mousse cake. I'm
Ooh.
like I don't like anything too sweet. So
Yeah, me
chocolate
neither.
mousse,
Yeah.
yeah. So and here's another fun fact. Whenever I eat, take a first bite of something that's too sweet, I start sneezing.
You start sneezing.
Yeah, fun fact. Like if I have like
Wow.
I actually enjoy dark chocolate as a snack, but when
Yep.
it's so sweet, that first bite into a dark chocolate, I start sneezing, and then I'm fine after that. It's the weirdest reaction.
Wow.
So yes,
Interesting.
chocolate mousse cake, right?
Mhm.
Chocolate mousse
Mhm.
cake. Because I prefer chocolate over vanilla. Like if I had to
Yep.
pick an ice cream
Yeah, yeah.
flavor, it's chocolate.
Mhm.
Tiramisu, and the third one, it's like a toss up.
It's a toss.
Yeah, it's a toss up. It's the cannolis. I could eat
Ooh.
cannolis,
Ooh.
right?
Ooh. Yeah.
I could eat
Good.
cannolis, or um, I could eat
Yeah.
just regular cookies,
A regular cookie.
regular
Well,
chocolate chip cookies.
that's suspect. Oh, okay,
Because,
chocolate chip.
but that's the thing. I don't like if I go to a restaurant, I would always order the same thing. Like
Mm.
even if it's not an Italian restaurant, if it's not an Italian restaurant, I would probably wouldn't really. I'd probably just order ice cream or something, or
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
really crazy on the dessert menu. But
yeah. Well,
Italian
I like
pastries.
you. I like you. I don't like things too sweet. So I'm not like I'm more of a savory person,
Yep,
like a snacky savory person. But
yep.
I do love me some chocolate for sure. Like dark chocolate. Just to every once in a while you get that crazy craving if like you're
Hmm.
low on magnesium too. That's
Yep,
good for that.
yep.
But tiramisu is on my list, so I will say that. And for those listening and watching, I'm a vegan and I'm approaching this with a vegan mentality. So don't say, well, that's not vegan. Yes, the fuck it is. Everything they make regular, they can make vegan. So don't at me. Don't email
Don't
me.
add her.
It's all vegan, okay? Number two on my list would be just a good old fashioned banana split.
Oh my God. I haven't had a banana split
Hmm.
in probably over 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't think that anybody has banana splits anymore. Like the people don't know what a banana split is.
It's I mean, when I was a kid, you would load it up, right? Like you do,
Right.
like you'd have your banana, then your ice cream, but then
Yeah, the bowl,
having the
yeah.
toppings was what made it, right?
Oh, absolutely, the toppings.
The
I mean,
sprinkles and the
everything, like nuts,
nuts.
everything. Like and the fudge. And you had to put the fudge on. Like when I saw people order banana split, they put the drizzle. The last thing they put on is the fudge. I was like, dude, you're not eating a freaking banana split. That's I
Something's
don't
wrong
know
with
what
you.
you just have a banana with ice cream. That's all you're having is banana with ice cream.
And
That's not a
the
banana
piece de
split.
resistance was the cherry on
Cherry
top.
on top, yep,
Yeah,
with the whipped cream and the cherry on top. Although I was never a big fan of whipped cream, but certain things I would like. A banana split, you gotta have a whipped cream.
gotta have it.
That's part of the banana split.
Yeah.
And with the cherry on top, please.
Yep, one hundo.
So,
Um,
absolutely.
and the last on my list is again veganized, but a blizzard with Oreo cookies and Reese's Pieces. Oh,
Oh, the Blizzard, the Blizzard
Mm.
shake, the
Yes. Ooh, the ice cream shake
right from the
called a
Dairy
Blizzard.
Queens. Usually they have
Yeah,
that.
well, yeah, the regular one would be from a Dairy Queen, but I would make mine with like coconut milk.
Oh, you make your own.
Yeah, and then you put Oreos, crushed Oreos. Oreos
Right,
are
with the
good,
crushers. I
and
love
then
Oreos.
I
You
love
know,
chocolate peanut butter combo. So, oh,
okay, so uh, Oreos. You know, there's only a certain way to eat Oreos, right? And
oh my god.
you've seen samples of the way I eat my Oreos.
I have seen many a TikTok about eating Oreos, and let's just leave it there.
There's only one way, and it's the right way, and it's my way of doing it, which a lot of people agreed. A lot of the ladies agreed,
A lot of the ladies would agree. Okay, okay, there you go.
just like the papaya.
Speaking of the ladies, what is the worst date you've ever been on?
It might
Come
sound
on,
crazy, but
fess up.
I've never really been on the worst date. So before my ex-wife, no, so before my ex-wife, I never dated. Like I just went and hooked up. That's all I did. Like I didn't date. We would
Yeah.
just hook up. We would at a bar or whatever, at a
Yep.
party or whatever, hook up. So then I met my ex-wife, and then that's when I first went on a serious date and went dating, courting the whole yard.
Mhm.
Uh, I never had a bad date with my ex-wife. Like it was always good. But you know what it is too? And that's why I ended up marrying her is because my whole thing is I'm an extrovert, right? So if you're
Okay.
out on a date with me,
Mhm.
you know me for a while. I'm pretty hyper. I'm pretty
Yep.
outgoing. I'm pretty, the gift, the gab. I like to keep the conversation going. I don't stay quiet. Um, and she kept up with me, and that's what I enjoy. But so for 20 years, I haven't had a date other than my ex-wife, right? So it was only recently I started getting back into the dating scene within the last 4 years, and
Mhm.
I've been on several dates. And surprisingly, like my first date that I actually went back onto the dating scene, when I went back to the dating scene, lasted 4 hours. 4 hours.
Wow.
And I met her on a dating app and we just talked and laughed because our personalities clicked. And then she ghosted me like a couple months
She
later.
ghosted you.
Yeah.
I know what that feels like.
Yeah. But then, and then in the few other dates I've been on, it's like I've enjoyed, and another thing I could tell right away, like if they just sit there and I'm the only one talking, that's a
Yeah.
bad thing. I haven't had that experience yet. I haven't had that.
That's so
So
great.
it is great. And people will say, oh, no, that's not true. I said, well, how? Like, again, for 20 years, I didn't date except for my ex wife. That's it, for 20 years. And before that, I was just out of college and just meeting woman, don't want to be in a relationship in all 9 yards,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
whatever. And then recently is when I went back onto the actual dating scene, which
Yeah.
um, I'm not on wood. I haven't had a bad date, although things didn't work out down the road for whatever reason. But as far as being on a date, it was like 2 hour dates, 4 hour dates,
Wow.
you
Well,
know?
that's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
So
I wish I didn't have the story, but I actually did have a worst date ever that stands out in my mind to this day. Oh my goodness. It was a blind date set up by a friend. I was in my 20s, so a few years ago. And um he knew that I was vegan. And so he picked me up and I got in the car and he like tosses over a box of chocolates on my lap and is like, "Those are for you." I was like, "Okay." So we're driving to the restaurant and he's driving like a freaking maniac. I'm like holding on to the fucking holy shit handle in the top of the car door and like going like all over the place when he's turning corners. And I'm like, this guy is reckless. We get to the restaurant. He takes me to a steakhouse. A steakhouse.
knowing you're a vegan.
Knowing I'm a vegan. Yeah. Yeah. A steakhouse. A barbecue slash steakhouse. I was like, okay. I'm sure they'll have salads. Me, fine. We sit down to eat. And when I say he ordered for me, I don't mean that he was a gentleman and asked me what I wanted and ordered it for me. I mean, he told me what I was going to have and ordered it for me.
This is on your first date?
First date, first time meeting this guy. And I was in a brand new city at this point. I had just moved to a brand new city. This was a blind date. And I was like, can't really ditch him because I don't know where I am. So I need a ride home.
I need to ride back. Okay. That's the only thing that's holding me back from running out of this place ASAP.
The food came, and the tip of the top of the thing that killed it for me was he went to go eat his food, and he grabs his fork like this and stabs and then saws it in half.
Oh, I
Like,
hate people that don't know how to freaking cut steak properly.
insane bad table manners.
That's
Can't
like
even hold a fork.
yeah, you know what? I never understood how. My oldest son started doing that. I said, no, that's not hold a fork when you hold it like this and you cut it like this.
That's right.
When I see people like stab and then cut, I'm like, who are you? Are you like in the caveman world, or are we living back in the
Yes.
caveman world?
Yes.
Like that's how they went. The caveman ate. Like they didn't use utensils, but if they had a my oldest one used
they
to
weren't raised by no mama or grandmama.
I was like, well, yeah. I when I see that adults, when I see grown adults at restaurants eat like that, like this, it's. I'm like, I just feel like just saying, seriously.
It was insane. So to top it off, we leave the restaurant. He drives me home, pulls up to the front of the condo, and goes to lean over to give me a kiss. The audacity.
Well, I mean,
and
he gave you a box of chocolate, which is like, you never know what you're gonna get.
I bolted out the door. I was like, see ya! Bolted out the door, slammed the car door shut, went into the building. I called my friend and I was like, what the fuck?
And what did your friend say?
She's like, oh, I thought he was a really nice guy. I said, how long have you known him? She's like, oh, I just recently met him. I was like, what the fuck? What? Okay, needless to say, that was the last of all of that.
So wait, what did he end up ordering for you?
He ordered a steak with potato and butter, garlic butter.
And then did you tell him at that time that I don't eat meat because I'm a vegan? Like, can I have a salad?
I just fucking sat there, like, watched him stab his meat. And then we left, and I was like, well,
maybe you should have stabbed his other meat. I don't know.
Oh my god, so gross. Anyways, that was my worst date ever. But let's move on to our 3-question draw. If you had your own line of golf clubs, what would you call it?
Oh, my own line of golf clubs. And I'm a golfer too.
I know.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. That
is a tough one. Wow, the pressure is on. That's I've never been asked that. Like, that's
that's why I do this show, to bring people the hard-hitting questions, Tommy.
Just the weirdest questions. Just throw them off. Just like zing them with like an oddball question out of like the moon. Oh my god, the line. What would I call it? Man,
your very own line of golf clubs. What would you call it? In stores everywhere. Mm-hmm. See the smoke coming out of the ears?
I mean,
let's see. Anything off the top of your head?
I could think of the shafts.
The shafts.
Shafts.
Tommy, the shafts.
You could take that anywhere you want with that, with the shafts.
And you'd sell them at Dick's, right? Dick's Sporting Goods.
Exactly. So you know exactly where I was going with that. You could sell the shafts, and it's only sold at Dick's.
Everyone, you can pick
and
up Tommy's shaft.
It's a long drive. It has a lot of long drives, right? It does wonders to balls. Mm-hmm. It always gets it in the hole. That's it.
Oh,
from a distance. You could actually, on one drive, these golf clubs will be made one drive, one swing, and get it in the hole.
Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. Your very own line. Pick up Tommy's shaft at Dick's. There you go. Get it in the hole every time.
Get it in the hole every time. Oh, you know what? I might just go into a business venture now. I might go on the show. What's that show?
Full of them.
Yeah, what's that
Shark
Tank.
Show?
Shark Tank. Aha! Mark Cuban would like that.
Oh, would he ever? Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, he's a rascal. If you could stop time and go back to visit any one person, who would it be?
Oh wow. Anyone
Dead or
person,
alive?
dead or alive.
Hmm.
Visit. Okay, so visits means obviously you could, somebody you've seen before, visited before,
Well, if
or
you could go back and visit any one person, dead or
or any
alive,
person
any
that.
person, who would it be?
Ah, wow. Good question.
Hmm.
Uh, well, family wise, I wouldn't. I don't really know too many. Like my grandparents, I don't really know them because I was so young when they passed away. So,
Hmm.
I think I don't know. Visit back in the past.
Yeah.
You know
A good
what?
number.
Billy the Kid.
Oh,
Billy
really?
the Kid.
I was
You know what?
not expecting that.
Yeah, you know what? Billy the Kid. Only because I actually recently saw a documentary on. People think he's like this wild, wild west, but he's actually a very intriguing, smart dude. I don't know if you
Mhm.
ever know the history of Billy Kid, but
Very intellectual.
he was very
Mhm.
intellectual, and
Mhm.
he was. I mean, it's like he was almost like he was like a celebrity back then.
Yep.
You know,
Mhm.
so I would just like sit down with him and just have an interview with him and just like like now they have it on Netflix. They have the Ted Bundy interviews. They have all the serial
Oh,
killer
fascinated
interviews,
with those. I've watched those so
right?
many
Like
times.
Jeffrey Dahmer interviews, all the serial killer interviews. Now the Son
Mhm.
of Sam I just recently saw. But like have one of those things with like somebody like Billy the Kid.
Mhm.
Like sit down and just like what in your childhood, like what did you like go through your childhood that made you become Billy the Kid? How you got the name Bill? Like I was fascinated, but he's actually a very intellectual person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of the and that's the crazy part. Some of the worst criminals, some of the best criminals out there are the smartest people.
Highly skilled.
Ted Bundy was a very highly skilled.
Highly skilled.
That's why
He
he even
was
get
he was
away.
in he was in child welfare.
Right. And that's why he didn't get caught for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then there's the one killer that still hasn't been caught, which is the Zodiac killer.
Mm.
He still hasn't been caught.
Hmm.
But
Who knows one day?
they're if you watch their documentaries, they are extremely smart people.
Yeah.
Extremely smart people. They're
Absolutely.
just wacky, but they're very smart people.
Absolutely. If you that's a good one. I wasn't expecting that one. That's a good one.
Of course, you never know what you're gonna get from me.
Well, that's very true. If you could learn a new skill, what would it be?
A new skill.
Remember, this is a daytime show.
Yeah. You know what? I wasn't even thinking about that until you said that.
Oh,
And then
hogwash.
something else popped into my head. So I was actually thinking something like carpentry, like
Oh,
carpentry.
carpentry. Nice.
And then you started saying, the daytime show. I was like, and then something else popped into my head. But yes, carpentry. And I was actually helping somebody. I'm helping somebody, an organization, renovate a headquarters,
Oh,
a law
nice.
enforcement fraternal headquarters. And I was there like 2 weekends ago or 2 weeks ago, and I've never used those big machines and the two
Mhm.
by fours and the measurements and the cuts and
Yeah.
all that, and learn how to do it. I was like, this is something I've always wanted to do. And I was talking to the guy who is a retired cop, and he's now doing carpentry work. Has a side business. And I said, I remember when I was a kid, I used to be in shop class. I don't know if you guys have shop class in
Yeah, we
Canada.
did.
That's
Yeah.
what you're right. It's basically it's a carpentry, you learn the vocational
Mhm.
trades.
Mhm.
Um, and I remember it was in junior high school, middle school, Mr. B. You never forget his name, like the shop teacher. You never forget because he was
Yeah.
so cool, like making the birdhouse, making
Yeah.
like stuff out of a leather belt,
I
making
made a
leather belt.
clock.
You made a clock. See,
Yeah.
but that's something like the trait that if I had to like learn something new because carpentry is never going to go away.
Yeah. Yeah.
That profession, something like mechanics,
Yes.
plumbers, they're never going to go away.
Yeah.
And it's like you spend more money hiring somebody than if you had that skill, you could save money and fix everything in your own place.
Yep, absolutely. I was just talking to Dante about that. He said he would go back and do a trade too because his brother chose a trade, and
Yeah, I
he
mean,
that's what he does. He fixes everything in his house.
if my kids don't want to go to college
Yeah.
for whatever reason, right now they still do, but whatever if for a reason, I said, listen, go to a vocational school, get a
Mm,
trade, get be a carpentry, a mechanic, a
yeah.
plumber, electrician. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
those skills are like so far come by. Like You're gonna have to
Absolutely.
pay for it, and they know it, so they're gonna charge you whatever they want to because they know
Yep.
they need you. They need you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Carpentry. Yep. Yep. One of those vocational skills. Yes.
Well, I have one bonus question for you, and then I'm ready for your questions. I don't know what to expect. But if you could get revenge on someone and they'd never find out and you'd never get caught, what prank revenge would you pull?
I would if I would probably I would buy them coffee every morning or like every morning and
Uh-huh.
just put laxative in there every morning. I mean, that is probably the cruelest thing to like make them poop
Yes.
all day, like be uncomfortable all day. Can you imagine having to like just like remember in Dumb and Dumber?
Yes.
Imagine being like that all day.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that would be like
That's
the ultimate
a shit
revenge on
show.
somebody that did me wrong. Like I would get them back. I'd be like, "You are crapping all day. You're going to be miserable all day." A laxative in their coffee. I would buy them a coffee every morning with a smile. Hey, I got you a coffee. Enjoy.
That's hilarious. I love it. I love it. I am ready for your three questions for me, sir.
Okay, so let's
Mm-hmm.
see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, first one. No,
Yes.
it's. I didn't now see now. I got it. Next time I know to come up with better questions
No,
because
no, it's totally fine. What you got is good.
mine is just very lame.
Lame.
Just yes, lame.
You are not. I don't. Lame and Tommy don't go together.
Not because I this is my first time being on a morning show, so I
That's what
don't
she said.
know. Well, it's a morning show every time they sleep all in my place. Let's go up and rise and rise. Was it rise?
Ooh,
Rise and grind and rise and grind.
rise and grind.
I have a shirt that says rise and grind,
I
but
like
it's for like work. It's
it.
like for working out, but you could interpret that to something else. Rise and grind.
I could interpret that as something else that I would thoroughly enjoy. Yes.
Right. All right. So the first question I would want to know
Uh-huh.
is your bucket list. Top three on your bucket list.
Oh gosh. Top three things on my bucket list. I say life list. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like to say bucket list, but I say life list. I don't know. For some
Okay.
reason, bucket list just means like I'm gonna die, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It has a negative connotation. Yep.
Yeah. So, three things I would love to go skydiving.
That's
Um,
number one on mine.
yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to build a school in a third world country. I would love to live out the rest of my days with the love of my life.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. That's realistic.
yeah,
It's all realistic.
yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living in a third world country. That's interesting.
hmm
Like, which country would you pick if you had to choose?
I don't know right now. I don't know. I thought for a long time it would have been Africa, but no.
Is it more like to do missionary work there, or just to?
I think just to there's a lot of countries where kids don't have access to education,
Okay.
and I feel like I'm a big proponent of nourishing your gifts. So
Hmm.
um, building your life and attaining wealth and success doesn't necessarily mean you have to be book smart. I've been fortunate
Absolutely.
enough to have both sides of the scale, book smarts and street smarts, but there are just as many people who have never graduated high school that are a massive success. Um, but I think that access to primary education, excuse me, is so important.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't necessarily have to go to college or university to make something of your life, but you
Right.
need a foundation. You need to know how to read and write and do math and expand your
Absolutely.
mind and know the process of how
Right.
to learn things. So
And that's perfect because there's some of the most successful people in
yeah,
this world didn't get a formal education, like
that's right.
or didn't go to graduate college or just made it to high school, and but they had the basic skills, like you
Yeah,
said, the basic math, the English, the writing skills, the reading skills, the
yeah,
basic. That's all you really need, just and you have that. That's the foundation of life, basically.
yeah. And nowadays, I mean, Google. Google and YouTube, you can learn everything off of there. So like,
Listen,
but
I
you got to
learned
know how to do that. You know what I mean?
right,
So I
right.
mean, like my parents never taught me anything, not a single fucking thing. Anything I ever know known how to do in my life, anything I've learned on my own.
Right.
And and uh and that has been like such a valuable lesson to me. But
Hmm.
you have to have the foundation in order how to like figure things out, like how to, well, why do I think this way? Why do I feel this way? How can I be resourceful? How can I find resources? How can I explore those things? And you need a
Right.
basic foundation in order to build your mind and the structure in order
Right.
to learn how to do that. So yeah.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I like it, Jenny. Like that was like so serious. But you know what? Next question is actually going to be a little bit more serious than
Okay.
that.
Number two.
So
Yeah. Let's
number
go.
two.
Hmm.
So if you could see yourself, if you ran into yourself when you were like 17 or 18, what would you tell yourself
Hmm.
about the future? Like how would like what would you tell yourself? Like would you tell yourself to change
Oh, what would I tell myself about the future?
about the future? Like what
I
would you
would
tell
tell
yourself?
myself it doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. Yeah.
It doesn't get easier. It's true.
Yeah.
It doesn't get easier. And actually, I was telling my oldest one, he starts high school in September.
Mhm.
And because of COVID with the remote learning, all that, he's been struggling in a couple of classes here and there,
Yep.
and he's been getting lazy and a little bit here, which is whatever. So I just told him, I said, listen, every time you go to the next grade, it gets harder and it doesn't get easier.
Yeah.
So that's how life is. It gets harder.
Yep.
It's just how you react and how you adapt to it.
Mhm. That's
It's how
right.
you go through your struggles and obstacles.
Mhm.
Because I told him, I said, life if life was easy, everybody would be rich, everybody would be happy, everybody would be, you know,
That's it.
that's it. So
Yeah.
but yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Life does, it just gets tougher.
It doesn't get easier, you just get stronger.
It just gets stronger, right? It doesn't get stronger. That's it. That's it. You build your character builds on
Mhm.
based, on how you adapt to life and stuff. Awesome. And then
100.
the final question,
Yeah.
again, I didn't know how to go about with
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
So in your young 30 years of life,
Yes. Why did you smirk when you said that, Tommy?
um, what is the one thing you regret?
No, I have
Go
no
for it.
regrets. Nope.
You have no
I have
regrets?
no regret. I don't live no, I do not live my life regret.
Wow.
I have no regrets ever about
So
anything.
if you had to do it all over again, you would just live the same life if you had to do it all
Um,
over again?
if I had a chance, if God put me back into like drop me down from earth and I was a baby and I got a chance to do everything all over again, I mean, I'm sure things would be different. It would be a second go around. But
Okay.
um I wouldn't choose to go back and do something different. I have no regrets.
Okay.
I believe everything happens for a reason, and I
Right.
believe everything is always going to work out.
Yeah.
And you are where you are, and you just make the best of it. And yeah, if you
Yeah.
changed one thing in your life, it would dramatically alter the trajectory of where you are today. And there's no way of
Absolutely.
knowing if that would be better or worse. So
Absolutely. Right.
yeah, no,
Absolutely
I
right.
have no regrets.
No, yeah. I agree with that because I would say, everything happens for a reason. Everything,
Hmm.
whether it's bad or good,
Hmm.
right? Everything bad, yeah. Like I never expected, you know, be not married anymore. Never
Yeah,
expected. But you know what
yeah.
though? We ended up with two beautiful children.
Hmm.
And if I'd never met her, I would not have two beautiful children.
Yep,
So there's no regrets of that. So yeah, everything happens for a reason.
absolutely.
Even for my going to my last dating life, it's up and down, but everything I have a reason.
Hmm.
Something doesn't work out because something better is going to come along. You know.
Absolutely. And you know what? Fate plays a hand too. I mean, like my aunt and uncle, they dated in high school when they were high school sweethearts and they broke up and they each both married different people and they each got divorced. And then they met one day out of nowhere
Hmm.
and rekindled their romance. And they've been married for like 20 some plus 30 freaking years. Like,
I've seen several of those stories. I've seen
so
several of
when
those.
it's
Yeah,
true love, it's true love.
I've heard several of those stories, whether it's on the news or on social media or on the Netflix shows or whatever. Yeah, that's amazing. But again, that's why I encourage my kids to live without any regrets. Everything
Yes,
happens for a reason.
absolutely.
Mistakes are made for a reason,
Hmm.
whatever, and you just learn from it. And whether you're religious or not,
Mhm.
Depending on what, even if you are religious, it doesn't matter what denomination, religion you belong to.
That's right.
It's just one thing is just be good to people, you know, just be good
That's
of a
it.
person. That's it.
Yeah,
It's not, you don't have to be a religious person to be a good
yeah.
person.
I I am I bank at the bank of karma. I take out of it what I put into it, and I
Hmm.
think, that's
I
it.
like that. The Bank of Karma. I like
Yeah,
that, Jenny.
I am a client of the bank of karma, and
And I'm gonna have to use that.
yeah, I'm actually posting that today on my Instagram.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, but, yeah, I take out of it what I put into it, and that's just it. You just be good, and,
Mhm.
it doesn't mean that you're not gonna come across people in life that are gonna take advantage of you, for
Of course,
sure.
absolutely,
It will,
absolutely.
it happens, and, it hurts. It hurts your feelings, and it sucks, but, like
But that makes you stronger.
well, it does, and then you drop them like Bronx Tale, and then you move on with your life, like,
Like Ron said, exactly. That's it.
right? Like, you
But
just
that's the thing, though. Like if somebody like being ghosted, it sucks. You know, being ghosted, it sucks when you think you've done everything you can and you have no idea you got ghosted. And you know
sure.
what? You don't belabor it. You just move on to the next. That's it. People ask me, "Oh, what did you ask them?" I was like, "No. Why am I going to bother? Like, I don't care. They ghosted me for a reason. Whatever. I don't care. I'm not gonna. I'm just moving on to the next. That's it.
Well, and that's it too. It's if they did that on their part, then it's their responsibility to come back to you, not
Mhm.
you to go to them
I don't
because
need to question them why they ghosted me. I don't care.
no,
I know I didn't do anything wrong. It's
that's
something,
right.
whatever. You
That's
know,
right.
if
That's
I know I did something wrong, maybe I offended something they didn't
mhm.
get. I would say, hey, is this something that whatever? But I know for a fact I didn't do anything wrong. So I'm like, all right,
Yep.
I get ghosted. I'm gonna move on to the next person.
And that's how I live I put 110% into everything that I do, whether it's business or people
Hmm.
or friends
Yep.
or partners or whatever. I put 110% in because whatever happens at the end of the day, I know I walk away with clean hands and a clean conscience and,
Yep.
like it is what it is, right? So
Absolutely. Love it.
those
Love it, Jenny.
those are fabulous questions, Tommy. I really enjoyed that. Rumor has it, sir, you have a tip of the day.
I do. And this is the tip of the day pretty much for every day.
Ooh,
I do this and I say this to people all the time, in person, on social medias, and and now you inspired me to do my own little YouTube channel. So
aw, thank you. I'm glad.
I started watching some of your recent videos, and I'm like, this is, and here's the crazy part of that. I actually told somebody else that was doing a YouTube channel that just started, and she's a
Yeah,
TikToker, and we ended up meeting, and she lives in Jersey, whatever. So
yeah.
but she does her own thing. I was like, Letty, I was like, I gotta come up with an idea. I want to do. I've always wanted to do something like that, but
Mhm.
I like, I don't have an idea. I don't know what to do. She goes, well, just do what I'm doing, just do reviews and stuff. I was like, yeah, but that's kind of boring. And then I started seeing your videos, and I was like, I was like,
Aw.
this is my calling right here, the Gift of Gab talk show. Like,
Aw.
oh, there goes my dog. So yeah, so I'm actually starting that soon too, and then obviously you're gonna be my first guest. You are going to meet my
Yay.
first guest co-host. Um, and I haven't come up with ideas of how it's gonna my platform is gonna be, but
Uh-huh.
you probably know me. I'm gonna be all over the place.
All
I'm
over the
gonna be all
place.
over the place.
That's so awesome. I'm
It's
so
gonna be like a nose
glad
guard.
you're
But
just
anyway, so getting back to the tip of the day, and um, I it's been more so like I live by this more so the last couple of years
yeah.
is live today like it's your last day. Don't worry about tomorrow because tomorrow's never promised.
Mhm.
Tomorrow doesn't owe you anything. Okay. And
Anything.
doesn't owe you anything, right? So, and this is what people regret. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. The whole time.
Mhm.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Like whatever your dreams are, go for it. And that's what that inspired me. I was like, you know what? I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna do this YouTube channel. I'm gonna do the co-host thing.
Yes.
I'm gonna have fun. I'm just gonna have fun. I'm not gonna do anything serious. I mean, people want to talk about serious topics. That's fine. Just talk and have fun.
Mhm. Exactly.
Engage with people, and let people out there, because somebody's out there watching. Somebody's out
Yes.
there watching this
Yeah.
show,
Yeah.
and whatever we talked about, they might take something one day. It might change their life.
That's
That's all
it.
I want to do.
That's it.
And that's why when I started doing TikTok, that's all I wanted to do. And when I got feedback saying, "Oh my God, today I had such a bad day. I saw your video. It just made me smile." Like that makes me feel good. Like that's what I care about.
Yeah.
So the tip of the day is live it today. Um, like tomorrow's never promised,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
live for today. Don't even think about tomorrow. Just get through today. Get
Yeah.
whatever struggles you're going through, get through today.
Yeah.
Whatever good day you're having, get through today. And then when you wake up the next day, be thankful and be blessed. Because a lot of people are not waking up the next day. And you are
Absolutely.
blessed enough to wake up the next day.
One
right?
hundo.
100%. And then, and this is something recent. You know the saying YOLO, right? You only live
Yeah,
once.
yeah.
I don't know who I saw, where I saw this, and who I heard this from, or whether it was a meme or whatever. I think or another motivational speaker.
Mhm.
If you think about it, you only live once. Kind of has a negative connotation. So they switched it up and they said, no, you live every day. You only die once.
Oh, I love that take on it.
That has a positive turn because if you think you only live once, okay, it's like almost like today's your last day, basically.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I had this son, and when I thought about it, I was like, that's what I'm going to incorporate on my,
I love that.
thing. Um, so those are the main things, like just live for today,
Mhm,
you know, live every day,
mhm.
and you only die once. And then, of course, never care about what other people think.
Oh, it's my number one thing. Oh,
Like,
Tommy,
like
I practice a healthy dose of I don't give a fuck.
I've been in your lives. I've been in your lives on TikTok, SDLs and your little White Claw 5% or whatever thing you were, and then the plant that you had. Remember those days of
Oh,
your
the
lives?
Palmelma.
The Palm Alma from Kitchen, Michigan. What Kitchen, Michigan? Your kitchen is
Kitchen, Michigan.
yeah.
Oh God, good times. Back when lives were lives, right?
Lies for lies, my friend.
Oh God, good times. This has been a fabulous show, my friend. I'm so glad
Ah,
and grateful and blessed that you could join me today. Thank you so much for co-hosting with me today. I've had a blast.
well, thank you for having me. I was so excited when you know you asked me to come on the show, and I was like, "This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a test of how I'm going to be on my shows." And
Yeah.
then, obviously, you're going to be my first guest because again, you inspired me, to come
Aw,
up with this
thank
co-host.
you.
Even though somebody kind of told me, they're like, "Hey, just do this and that. Just go for it." I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to
Good
go
for
for it. I'm
you.
going to set up everything. Once I'm ready to go, I'll let you know, have you
Yep.
on, and we're just going to have fun, just like I had fun here. This morning show. I hope you guys are awake. You stay tuned. I hope you guys didn't fast forward because if you did, you missed a lot of good stuff in between.
A lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff.
Oh, hey, before I forget, tell Josh I said hi.
Hi, Josh. Jenny said hi. Hope you enjoyed our show.
Josh is a good guy. You like him.
I'll see you next time.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Great to see you, Tommy. We'll see you again. So happy you're inspired to start your own show, and I can't wait for that. Let us know when it's up and running, and we will give you a shout out as well. So good to see you, my
Thank you,
buddy.
Sue. Good to see you too, my friend.
Have a great week.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.